Hi, my name is Andrea Stewart, Executive Director of the Carbondale Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to welcome you to Carbondale and also to the 4th Annual Mountain Pitch event. The Carbondale Chamber is home to over 450 businesses, such as Coventure and others, and we work hard to really market and promote our businesses to make Carbondale a more vital and dynamic place to live, work, and visit. Carbondale is a beautiful town and has evolved from a ranching community, which still has deep roots today, to a thriving arts, tourism, and recreation destination. And now, an innovative business community, from technology to outdoor gear. Carbondale provides great jobs and is a beautiful place to live. So please help me in welcoming and supporting the upcoming entrepreneurs.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mountain Pitch Summit of 2021. On behalf of Coventure and the Roaring Fork Angels, we are proud to introduce our 4th annual pitch event. Coventure, as you know, is a business incubator serving businesses on the Western Slope and currently boasts 30 graduates from their accelerator program who have collectively raised $18.4 million. As always, I'm your host, Diana Peiffer, a proud investor in the Roaring Fork Angels, and we've all had a bit of a wild year, some a little more wild than others, but we're back at it and we're eager to get started. We have 6 new companies getting ready in the pitch room as we speak. And this year we wanted to showcase businesses that are tackling big issues during COVID, such as affordable housing and even labor shortages. Our companies will have 5 minutes to present, followed by a brief 2-minute Q&A. And most companies are pitching for capital today, but some are asking for strategic partnerships, connections in the industries, and even employees. So before I introduce our first company, I want to turn it over to Martha Heim, our director of the Roaring Fork Angels, for a brief word about our community sponsors. Martha?
Hi, I'm Martha Heim, and I'm director of Roaring Fork Angels, the local chapter of West Slope Angels Investment Group. And I want to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us today for our Mountain Pitch event. I want to thank all of our sponsors here, without whose support we would not be able to put this event on. And I want to highlight our title sponsors. Slifer Smith, Frampton, and Forbes Real Estate have joined us on this entrepreneurial journey, not only as sponsors, but as true partners. Their team of growing agents have been with us from the get-go, and we're grateful to have them as community champions. Alpine Bank is one of our truly great, successful entrepreneurial stories of the Roaring Fork Valley. They're headquartered in Glenwood Springs and now have locations all over the West Slope and in Denver. They provide key support to community initiatives ranging from scholarships to event sponsorship. And First Bank of Colorado offers tremendous resources and expertise to our entrepreneurial ecosystem. They offer a comprehensive range of services and are an active part of our entrepreneurial community. Colorado Lending Source, now known as B-Side Capital, is an important bridge connecting entrepreneurs to financial resources in our community. We're grateful for their ongoing support as we strive to help businesses, ranging from operating capital to infrastructure purchases. So I want to thank again all of our sponsors, and especially our title sponsors, and good luck to all of our entrepreneurs, and enjoy the Mountain Pitch event.
All right, everyone, before we get into our pitches, we want to take a brief moment to introduce our expert panel of judges. We have Mr. Tyler Moebius, who's the co-founder of Coventure here in Carbondale. We have Mr. Jonathan Greechan, who is the co-founder and CEO of the Founder Institute, and then Miss Connie Baker, who is the CEO of Marble Distilling, also here in Carbondale. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for being here.
And we're live streaming with an online chat room. We'd love to get your input, so please feel free to comment and send us your input.
Our first presenter is Mr. Charles Barr. Charles is presenting for Springborn, which is an organic farm located in Silt, Colorado. Today, Charles will be pitching for connections and employees. So if you're out there getting ready to rejoin the workforce and you love lettuce, pay attention. Springborn created one of the first automated greenhouses in the nation. And if you're ever in Silt, you can visit their impressive greenhouse. And keep an eye on this company because they are about to disrupt the agricultural industry in a big, big way. All right, Charles, I can feel your eagerness from here to get started. Your 5 minutes starts now.
My name's Charles Barr. Thank you for inviting me and letting me participate in this event. And I'm here to introduce you to my company, Springborn. Springborn is a fully automated lettuce production facility in Silt, Colorado. And what we are doing is indoor agriculture on 18 lines of continuous leafy greens production 365 days a year. The vision is to take this farm and expand it into a new thing. I purchased 255 acres here in Silt, Colorado, and we continue to farm traditionally. And we see this greenhouse as an extension of traditional farming, and we're enhancing it with this new greenhouse automation. I very much see this as an opportunity for existing agricultural operations to diversify their income stream, diversify their products, and find ways to make sure that the land that is currently in agriculture remains in agriculture and make jobs for people who want to move into agriculture. So why do indoor agriculture? The first one is the produce is cleaner, right? Because it is grown indoors and in a controlled environment, we can control the pest pressure, we can control the temperature, we can control the water usage, we can control everything to make sure that that produce tastes better and is fresher and is cleaner. There's no bird poop, there's no cow poop, there's nothing in that area that can contaminate the lettuce. The second thing is when it's indoor, particularly in the West, we have much better efficiency with water use. When we compare our water use to traditional lettuce, outdoor leafy green production, we use 90% less water, which is very, very important with climate change, with less rainfall, with the Colorado River being depleted as it is. And the third thing is freshness year round. Springborn will produce 3,000 pounds of lettuce every single day. Those 3,000 pounds of lettuce are for this market. They're produced in this area, they're consumed in this area, and it makes a very stable source of production for our retail partners. The water usage we talked about, we didn't talk about pesticide free because it's grown indoors. We don't have to apply pesticides. It is organic production. All of our packaging is recycled from recycled materials and can be recycled again. No human hand touches the lettuce until you open it in your kitchen because it's fully automated, it's planted, it's germinated, it's grown, it's harvested, and it's packed without any human touching it. There's less emissions because there's fewer food miles. The day it's packed is the day it goes to the grocery store, so it's fresher in your kitchen longer. The market opportunity is huge. The Springborn greenhouse is 2.5 acres, but the production of that 2.5 acres is less than 1% of the leafy green consumption in Denver or the Front Range. So we have a very small output compared to the market opportunity. Also, when you look at the industry as a whole of indoor agriculture, indoor production of lettuce in America is 1% of America's consumption of lettuce. So we know that this is an opportunity for huge market growth for indoor agriculture. And then our targets. We are trying to get into national retail chains, but more importantly, chains that want to sell the lettuce local to this area. So we're looking at all the brand name grocery stores that you can think of in your head. Those are our targets. Those are where we want our Springborn produce to be displayed and sold. We also want to bring it into large food service operations like the ski resorts or the universities or other institutions that have large needs. The agribusiness ecosystem needs to be sustainable, it needs to be resilient. And that's one of the things that Springborn is participating in. We're bringing agricultural jobs into an agricultural area. We're reducing pressure on water usage by very efficiently using the water resources that we have. We're adding diversified farming methods to a traditional farm, bringing in new income streams that can be mimicked by other farmers in the area. Because we do everything in-house, from the seeding to the packing, we own the entire process, which means there's never a question of where did the food safety chain break? Where did the cold chain break? We own everything from seed to package. And lastly, it's automated. Because it's automated, we still provide good, high-quality jobs for people that want to go into farming. At the same time, we're eliminating the stoop labor associated with farming. It's a fully replicable model, which means that these greenhouses can be put anywhere that there's a market demand and there's a demand for fresh produce. The first one we built is in Silt, Colorado. It won't be the last. Our retail partners ask us routinely to build greenhouses in other areas to serve other population centers. So now that takes us to our team. Our team is predominantly local folks. Almost everyone is from this local area, and I could talk for hours about each one of them, but it's a limited time for this presentation. So they are local folks, they are committed to agriculture, and we want to expand that team. And that takes us directly to our ask, right? There's two things we're asking for. The first one is strategic partners. We want people to engage with Springborn to help be our advocates as we go forward and expand our market operations. And more importantly, we're asking for people. We want people to join our company. We're looking for new talent, local talent, people that are interested in agriculture and want to join this new indoor agricultural revolution. So with that, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for your consideration. We'll talk soon.
Charles, excellent job on that pitch. Thank you so much. I know our judges are eager to get started with this Q&A. You'll have 2 minutes, and we're going to start with Tyler.
Great, thanks, Charles. Very exciting project. From what we understand, you're already well funded, and now it's really looking to staff up. Maybe can you just speak to what are the type of people, roles, and responsibilities you're looking for? And maybe somebody out here might fit that bill. So love to hear that.
I'm hoping so. So thank you for the question, Tyler. The people that we're trying to hire are basically fall into a few buckets. Most of them are high school educated folks that want to live and work in the western slope of Colorado. So the people that enjoy the lifestyle, the agricultural lifestyle, and the remote lifestyle that we have here, but also want to touch high technology and use the best facilities in the world. So that's kind of the person that we're looking for. And the job buckets that they fall into are the growers. Those are the people that are responsible for the health and taste, and safety of the plants. The packing line, those are the people that put everything into the packing line. It's all automated. They just have to, it's basically a machine operator they have to run. And then it's logistics and general labor, people to drive the trucks to get it into Denver, and people to take all of, that's my clock, and people to take all of the, keep the facilities clean. So those are the buckets.
All right, excellent. Okay, and then Connie, over to you.
Sounds amazing, and I can't wait to see the facility in person. As a lover of all produce, I'm curious as to why just lettuce, and do you have any plans to expand to other products?
Yes, we'd love to expand other products, but the reason it's just lettuce to begin with is because that's the easiest to automate, frankly. One of the goals of the project is to provide high quality jobs in agriculture, and that means the elimination of stoop labor. So all the stoop labor that you see in the fields of Salinas or you see in the fields of Yuma has been eliminated by the use of automation. So lettuce is one of the easiest plants to easiest crops to automate, because there's no detailed picking. You're not looking for what's ripe and rejecting what's not. You're just taking everything. So lettuce is the easiest to automate, and that's one of the reasons that we can do it in Silt. But other crops are coming, and of course, the grocery stores and the buyers ask for other crops because of the advantage of greenhouse production, which is, constant yield, a known production quantity, a known delivery schedule. So yes, we'd like to get there, but you got to walk before you run, so to speak.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. I'm sure you've heard like every lettuce joke in the book, so I'm going to just breeze past that part, but thank you so much.
I'm looking for a new one.
I bet you are. I bet you I won't be the one to give it to you. Okay, we're going to move on to our next event. Thank you so much, Charles. Great job.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right, next presenter, Miss Emily Heisel. She is pitching for Copper Key Tiny Homes. Today, Copper Key is looking for impact investment dollars, solar sponsoring, and future site partnerships. This company has been generating a lot of buzz and getting a lot of support from local organizations. The affordable housing crisis is a big thing we're trying to tackle here on the Western Slope. Currently, Copper Key is working tirelessly to create the first tiny homes community in Rifle, Colorado, and we are certain they're going to be successful in that. Enough from me, though. Let's get more exciting developments from Emily. Emily, your 5 minutes starts now.
If I told you you could change lives with ripple effects felt across an entire community, would you be interested? Would it make even more sense if the long-term financial impact was positive for everyone involved? I'm here because we believe tiny homes will shift the housing paradigm and help us all with the housing crisis we're facing today. So first, let's talk about that problem. In 2019, a report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed the average personal expenditures in the U.S. was taken up primarily by housing. It's considered cost burden to spend over 30% of what you earn on housing, yet the average American spends over 33% of what they make on where they live. And as everyone in Colorado is well aware, there's a severe lack of housing that is driving up prices across the board. Colorado is a beautiful state that continues to attract people to both live and play. This means that locals have to compete with each other for housing, as well as out-of-state buyers and vacation rental owners. While this trend has been evident for years, the COVID effect has exacerbated the issue, and we're seeing record home prices and lack of rental options. Additionally, there's this mismatch between space needs and the housing stock. A recent report published by AARP and the National Building Museum showed that over half the population is made up of singles and couples living without children. Yet only 12.5% of the housing stock is made up of studios and one-bedroom units. This means that people are paying huge amounts of money for space that they don't need. I believe we can make an impact community by utilizing tiny homes. Our company is poised to build a first-of-its-kind pocket tiny home community featuring both tiny homes on foundations as well as land space for those who own a tiny home on wheels. This will allow us to immediately build and rent to the local population while also attracting people from across the country who want a legal place to live in their tiny home. We have 2 home models and will build 10 of each right off the bat. Our booklifts model is designed with teachers in mind. It features an open concept living room and kitchen, a full-size bathroom, and a half-lofted bedroom with ample headspace and storage below. Our Anvil Points model is designed with seniors in mind, while also being flexible to accommodate small families and remote workers. It also has an open concept living room and kitchen and full-size bathroom. But this model also has a main floor bedroom and stairs that lead to a full-height loft that can be used as an additional bedroom or office. We've already acquired nearly 15 acres of land in Rifle, Colorado for our pilot location. It's across the street from the local high school, a city park, and it has flat pastures, water rights, and unobstructed sunset views of the Book Cliffs mountain range. Our concept plan for this property includes 2 phases of construction with 184 rental units, a community building, and a gazebo. With our business model, half of the rental revenues will come from tiny homes on foundations, with the other half from land rentals. This is a true mom and pop business where my husband and I have construction experience through building and remodeling multiple homes and even RVs. We've created a solid team, each with decades of experience in their respective fields, that will help get us through the planning, construction, and leasing out of this property. We've been diligently working to line up all facets of this development and have been gaining fabulous traction. This includes acquiring letters of support from high-profile community organizations, as well as being a finalist for the Sync Up Colorado Challenge grant. Although we're still working to fill the gap, our roughly $4 million capital stack for Phase 1 of construction includes a USDA-backed loan and CPACE funding. Both types of debt are percentage-based, with the CPACE funding amount depending on the final determination of energy efficiency of the project. There are pieces that we need to accomplish before we open. We've already acquired the land and begun the approval process. After that, we need to complete construction while also marketing the development to potential renters. Once we open, our business plan has specific directives on how to divvy up income. We will fill an emergency fund and save a portion of the income to build future homes and fund Phase 2 of construction. Then we'll use 70% of the annual income for distribution to members. We are looking for someone who is committed to true impact investing to join us. This project matters to real people. Recently, my daughter's teacher had to live in his van. And not only that, he had to alternate parking it between other teachers' driveways and the school parking lots because there was nowhere legal for him to be. This housing insecurity meant that he no longer lives or teaches locally. This is unacceptable, and we can do better. Copper Key Tiny Homes will change lives. Join us to be part of it.
All right, Emily, welcome to your Q&A session. You have 2 minutes, so it's about 2 questions long. And we're going to start with Tyler. Tyler, you ready?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Emily. This is a great, exciting project. Maybe you could just speak to sort of the regulatory sort of compliance and policy, like within Rifle, and are they fully behind this in terms of tiny homes and kind of, you know, what sort of where are you currently at with that in the municipality?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I'll start a little with a bigger picture in that tiny homes face a lot of issues nationwide because of the size requirements with the International Building Code and also different zoning mechanisms throughout the country. We're actually located adjacent to Rifle, but within Garfield County boundaries. So we're operating through their zoning department for this. What is great about Garfield County is they were one of the first in the nation to adopt Appendix Q, which is the tiny home building code, which really kind of paved the way for this. And now we have to go through the process to get a PUD so that we can incorporate all the different facets of our development in the right way.
Excellent.
Great, perfect, very succinct. Okay, our next question is going to come from Miss Connie. Connie?
Hello, good morning. I'm sort of leaning on the public side of it other than the municipality side of it. As a business owner who has looked into building employee housing in a small town, Carbondale, I know that the public perception, unfortunately, when looking at tiny homes is not in my backyard, the NIMBYs of the world. And I'm wondering how you're going to overcome that.
Yeah, I think anytime there's a new idea, and especially around tiny homes, you can face that. What has been great is our initial outreach has been to really high profile community organizations because everybody needs employee housing, and that's really what we're trying to provide. And so we have big players that have stepped up and already given us letters of support, including Grand River Health, CMC, the local EDC, the school district, Manaus, and the Tiny Home Industry Association. So we have a lot of momentum in that way. And then really we want to engage our local community beyond that. Around the area that our development will be built are both single family homes as well as apartments. So it's really got that mix already. And it's zoned for modest density residential as far as the city's concerned, because they're looking, long term and down the road when the city boundaries will increase, and we definitely fit within what they are looking for. And I think personally, as you look out, it would be so much nicer as far as views are concerned to look at little homes versus really big apartments that kind of block the views of that beautiful sunset, which we face. So.
Excellent, very cool. Thank you so much, Emily. We love that you're tackling the affordable housing project. It's a big one. We're going to move on to our next event. So thank you, Emily, for your time.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Tom Jankowski, Garfield County Commissioner, and I'd like to welcome all our viewers to the Coventure Mountain Pitch event. Garfield County is a rural county in western Colorado. We're a large county. We stretch all the way from Carbondale, where I am today, to the Utah border. We've worked really hard on economic development, and Coventure has been an important part of that, and they've been successful. They've had entrepreneurs that have gone on to open up businesses. We also have another kind of a co-op in Rifle, Colorado that Coventure coordinates with. On behalf of myself and my fellow commissioners, we appreciate this event. Thank you to the entrepreneurs and the presenters today, and best of luck to them. Thanks a lot.
All right, everyone, let's head over to Coventure to learn more about co-working and the business incubator located here in Carbondale.
Hi, welcome to Coventure. I'm Amy, our Space and Facilities Manager. Coventure is a nonprofit based in Carbondale, Colorado, and we offer programming for businesses big and small. Come on in, let's check out the space. We offer co-working space here on the main floor, as well as private office space on the second and third floors. With your membership, you'll get access to Wi-Fi, printing, office supplies, private conference room space, and complimentary coffee and tea.
Hi, I'm Teresa, the admin director here at Coventure. Coventure is a lot more than a co-working space. We have a mission to empower and support local communities and businesses in the Western Slope. We offer different membership levels. For example, we have a daily and weekly drop-in rate as well as a dedicated desk option.
We also have reservable resources like conference rooms and a private office that can be reserved on a daily basis.
I moved here about a year ago. I'm a professional. I work on computers and I need a fairly high-speed internet. And I think Coventure is it's been really nice. I've got a permanent desk here now for 11 months. It's a nice group of work professionals, and yeah, it's just been fantastic to be here and to be in this space and to be part of the community.
I work from Coventure 4 times a month, and every time I leave with a new connection or a new idea of somebody I should reach out to just from, you know, chit-chatting with folks in the space, so it's great.
What I love about Coventure is that it's very close to my house. I can walk over here and get some time to focus on my work. I have a toddler at home, so getting that space and time to focus is very important to me. And I also love their programs. I participated in the accelerator a couple years ago, was able to pitch my business and get started really. So it's been a great experience overall.
You can find us in the digital realm. Listen to the Coventure Community Podcast, watch member spotlight videos, get our full archive of our weekly digest, and of course, find a place to donate all online at coventure.io.
If you'd like to learn more or schedule an appointment for a tour, feel free to reach out to us via email or by phone. We look forward to seeing you.
All right, our third presenter is Mr. Chris Beebe with his company, NexWell. NexWell is pitching for capital, and they want to continue building their system for patients with chronic illnesses and the healthcare systems that support them. Chris is a seasoned entrepreneur leaning into a huge healthcare gap in post-op care. He's made great relationships in the local healthcare network and has an excellent software team eager to solve those technical problems. Chris, we love what you do. Let's hear your story. Your 5 minutes is on the clock.
Hello, my name is Chris Beebe and I'm the founder of Nexus Platform Group. We're building NexWell, a mobile software solution to bridge the gap between healthcare and the patient's daily wellness journey with chronic diseases like heart and lung disease, cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. So who's this person in the fog? He could be any one of us. He just found out that he has a chronic disease, that he needs to change his lifestyle, and his world is a little foggy. He's one of 133 million men and women in the US, 60% of us. He's not alone, but he's 5 times more likely to be lonely or depressed. He has an 80% chance that he has more than one of these diseases. He loses 56 hours of productivity every year dealing with his disease, but his health insurance costs $1,100 more. His disease contributes to $3.8 trillion of direct and indirect costs of chronic illness disease in the US every year, 14% of our GDP and 85% of our overall healthcare costs. He's also 50% more likely to get divorced and will likely experience discrimination in the workplace. He's 12 times more likely to be hospitalized with COVID, and he can expect his life to be 5 to 10 years shorter. All these issues feed into each other, and if left unsupported, create a downward spiral of physical and mental health. His hospital and his physician are excellent, and they have an incredible base of knowledge about what he needs to do, but they can't walk with him through his day. We spend $19 billion every year on wellness and preventive medicine, but patients need support every day, which is too expensive one-on-one. We see this as a massive issue, and we're building NexWell to address it. NexWell is a white-labeled B2B2C mobile platform, customized and managed for each client organization and gamified to drive patient success. By using our non-invasive technology at scale, we can help healthcare providers do their job with daily qualitative and quantitative data and help hospitals increase engagement and retention for about $10 per patient per year, a small investment in patient success and goodwill. The platform is designed as a three-legged stool to support the patient every day and turn that spiral in a positive direction. The first leg is a proven and compassionate habit change protocol that's patient-paced and attuned to their daily progress. Using a 10-minute initial interview to capture the important inputs like priorities, triggers, replacements, and rewards, and a coach bot for daily guidance and feedback, we can provide just the right amount of positive support without getting pushy. The second leg is a wellness-oriented discovery app feature customized to the needs of our client healthcare organization to help the patient find what they need. When our patient in the fog leaves the doctor's office with a new diagnosis, finding supportive businesses and places is one of the biggest challenges and quick to torpedo a wellness plan. This feature also offers recognition of existing partners and opens doors to partnerships with the broader health and wellness ecosystem. The third leg of the stool is a social component to connect patients with similar health journeys, interests, motivations, which is proving to be indispensable for the healing of both parties. This feature is completely optional with privacy protocol in place. And the cool thing about this triumvirate is that they support each other in their support of the patient. Today we have a live and functioning discovery app and the UX UI wireframes and screens for the habit change and social connections features. And we're in discussions with a local hospital to run a pilot program. We're a solid US-based team, experienced in mobile tech and startups, and we're building an expert panel of physician advisors. Once funded, we'll begin pilot design and development in Q4 21, start the 6-month pilot in Q2 22, launch publicly and begin monetization in Q4 22, and expand our client base nationally in 2023. Based on this timeline and our white-labeled B2B2C program, we anticipate serving 4 million patients with annual revenue of $40 million by 2025. The wellness market is expected to grow to $27 billion by then, so we need less than 1% of the market to reach that goal. And the chronic disease epidemic is expected to grow at a similar rate. We do have some competition, but they're focused on specific conditions, and none are white labeling or offering the discovery app component that we propose, and only a few offer the social component. We're asking for $500,000 for an 18-month runway, and we'll activate the project at $250,000. The biggest expense is software development, with smaller line items for pilot management, business development, and GS&A. We're offering a convertible note and an optional seat on our board of advisors. Odds are strong that you've been this person or you know someone who has had chronic illness and struggled. So please help us get this done. Thank you.
Chris, thank you so much for your pitch. Your 2-minute Q&A starts now, and we're going to Mr. Jonathan. Are you ready with your question?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Chris, so I know with this pivot, right now you're going to a very different market in the healthcare realm. Like, what is the biggest gap that you're filling? You mentioned a couple of different things there, but the main problem that you're going to be solving for the customer, Right. And not just that, but also have you been able to drill down to like a specific KPI that your product's going to be able to improve for them?
Right. The gap is really that time between wellness appointments, be that with a wellness coach or a physician, primary care physician, or their cancer doc, or whatever the situation is. Typically those appointments happen every 4 to 6 weeks, and that's a long time for somebody that's on the steep part of the learning curve in terms of changing their lifestyle. And really being able to fill in that daily experience for them and really support them on a daily basis, from the physicians I've talked to and the patients I've talked to, that's a big part of it. And being able to do that in a compassionate way and not a pushy way is really important to us. I think the KPI, the KPI for the hospital is retention and satisfaction. The KPI for the patient is obviously, improvement in whatever their markers, whatever their KPI is in whatever disease they have, whether that's white blood cell count or diabetes has all sorts of metrics on that. And also just, improvement in their mental health and their engagement with life and their general feeling of well-being is important to us too. And I realize that's that's really hard to put an exact number to, but we'll actually have numbers because we've got a daily feedback loop that's metric based. How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10 about your diet or about your exercise or about your sleep or your stress level? So we'll actually be able to see those KPIs improving over time and adjust our program to them.
Excellent. Excellent. Chris, I think there are a lot of people out there who are going to be very happy to see you succeed in this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
We've got to
Jen.
hustle over to our next event. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right, I'm very excited to introduce our next presenter, who is Heather Bryan, the CEO of Jupiter & Company. This is our very first franchise opportunity during our pitch events, so we're pretty excited about this one. Jupiter is looking for industry connections today to grow their presence in golf, dealership, and corporate venues. And they want to use their funding to be used for brand awareness, company infrastructure, and marketing. Now, this is a newly formed franchise opportunity, and actually, Heather is the only woman who has designed and developed an engraving system. This company is 100% debt-free, and personally, Heather has sold 100 systems herself. She wants to give others the opportunity to have this great lifestyle, flexible schedule, and no limit to their success through her remote work. She's met stars like Bill Murray, Clint Eastwood, and Tiger Woods, while her engraving business has taken her around the world. Miss Heather, I've done enough talking, so it's over to you to the pitch room. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Diana. I appreciate that great introduction. And yes, you heard her right. I am the first woman to design and develop an engraving system. But more importantly, I've created a franchise and a business opportunity that can be duplicated easily as a home-based business. The pandemic changed many things for many people in the workforce. For me, I knew moving forward that I had to create entrepreneurs, not more salespeople, and that this is going to be very important. So that's why I developed Jupiter Franchise LLC, and I've completed my FDD and my trademarking, and why I made sure I had a smaller investment opportunity through our business op. This is what's going to give Jupiter the push it needs to succeed even more. It's simple. It's a business in a box. It's a home-based engraving and promotional product opportunity. By having our own proprietary equipment and software and the ability to order custom products direct, Jupiter will be able to support a full line of team members under our roof while we utilize our strategic partnerships in growing our existing markets and finding some new markets as well. Over the past 15 years, I not only developed the best family in the whole world, I created a business opportunity. After engraving at over 500 events, I designed and developed the Jupiter engraving system, and I consistently sold $200,000 in products every year. My extensive history has given me the opportunity to sell engraving systems and products in places like the Orlando Magic Stadium and top 100 golf courses around the world. I've also had the opportunity to engrave on site at places like a wedding on top of Aspen Mountain, the Glenwood Springs volleyball and football games, the Aspen Theater Gala, the Disney Marathons, Super Bowl, and the fanfare at Final Four. All of these sales and projects were profitable, and this is what we're going to teach to our new team members and franchisees. There's a huge market opportunity right now. Both the engraving market and the promotional product industry got hit by the pandemic in both their orders and having such large overhead. But it's all bouncing back, as well as a huge spike in the home-based business. So how can Jupiter grow to our $7 million valuation? The path to our success will be twofold. One, it will be growing and creating our entrepreneurial team. This is what's going to quickly help the Jupiter presence in local communities everywhere. It's also going to help us sell engraving systems and products. The second path to our success is through our strategic partners. This is going to help us grow into new markets as well as developing our already existing markets. Support and guidance comes through the team. And through our new partnerships, Jupiter will be able to grow onto our already amazing builders, creators, and organizers. My engineers in California help me design, they help build and service all of our systems. All of our support is done in FaceTime in real time. And right now, our whole team is ready to move forward to build engraving systems and support where needed. I created Jupiter so it has multiple revenue streams. And not only will you and I have multiple revenue streams, so will our future franchisees and business opportunity members. By 2026, it's projected that we'll sell 44 franchises and 150 business opportunities. That alone is over $2 million in sales. Product sales is another way Jupiter's created a revenue stream. Because all of our products are custom and they ship direct to our customers, we don't need any overhead or product storage. Being realistic, you and I know that not all of our salespeople are going to work as hard as I do, even part-time. But we do know as we grow our business up and our franchisee numbers, our product sales will increase every year. Jupiter profits 30 to 60% off of every product sale. And that depends on what quantity and what product that they're ordering. The third avenue of profit for Jupiter is the Jupiter engraving system. This is what makes us truly unique. It's our proprietary equipment and software. By designing and develop these in the US, I've given us the best opportunity to continue to develop great engraving systems and grow as needed. Based on the sale of 100 engraving systems, we know that half of those will pretty much order every single year in product, while the remaining bulk will order every other year or every third year. By offering this as a business opportunity and a franchise, Jupiter will quickly be able to expand nationwide. By developing the engraving system and business in a box in-house, I've been able to remain a debt-free company, and I've had sales consistently year after year. I'm looking for $250,000 to help create the plan to secure our future franchisees and business opportunity team members. With my existing sales in place, your support will help guide me into becoming a strong team leader while we explore new markets and expansions with our engraving system, our product, and our on-site engraving experiences. Getting personal through this business is not just about putting a name on a keychain or a bag tag. It's really about keeping that magic of that event alive. The appreciation of the new membership, of that donation, of the gratitude of someone seeing their time on their race medal. The face of a cancer patient when they see on their bag tag their name and a date, because that's the day they went into remission. These are the reasons why I started Jupiter & Company. And this is how our future franchisees and business opportunity team members are going to feel when they succeed with us. Now is the time for us to bring personalized products from a boutique concept to a concept available in every local community. This will happen with your support and guidance as we create entrepreneurs with a solid business plan and equipment. So, who's ready to get personal with Jupiter and Company?
Hello, Heather. Welcome to the Q&A session. You'll have 2 minutes, and we're going to start with a question from Miss Connie. Connie?
Hi, Heather. Great to see you.
Hi, Connie.
Obviously very familiar with your products. We use them at Marble Distilling Co. and we love you. I'm interested because as a female entrepreneur and CEO, I know the roadblocks that were put in my path over the years, and with the keyword and all across all industries being diversity at this point in time, I'd love to hear how you're dealing with it and how you might be using the fact that you're a female executive and CEO to move this industry, move your business forward.
Well, thank you. First of all, thanks for the business. I love doing your plaques. I hope they came out. I walked them over this morning on my walk today. So thank you. And thanks for the question. You know, I actually never thought of myself as like a woman entrepreneur until maybe like 4 years ago. For me, the like that side gig industry was coming up like pre-pandemic, you know, a couple years before that. And all of us had to, you know, all the moms I found, the women were just starting to kind of flower out of not liking our situations or wanting something different. So for me, based on, you know, I've been in the golf industry, which is a male industry. I'm in the promotional product industry, which is a male industry. And I invented a machinery, like, which is huge. Not only is it, you know, male dominated, but it's not even US dominated. So here comes this like blonde haired, curly haired lady at all these trade shows with this engraver, and everyone was like, oh God, you know, this is a joke. And I just took my time. I was like, you know what, if I just prove to everyone and I do step by step and I just complete everything without making a big deal and just kind of flying under the radar, I knew at some point I'd be where I was today, which this idea started as a side hustle when that kind of came out 4 years ago. And I actually called it Moms Making 5 Figures, because not everyone needs to make this huge amount of money, you know, and a lot of people also didn't want to be on a multi-level marketing situation. They really wanted to. So for me, it was just a blessing of good timing that female entrepreneur, you know, hashtag women supporting women, like all of that has been growing. And I've been able to consistently, you know, now unknown with the pandemic, blow this out even more. Is it like a needed industry where someone can go on their walk, talk to all their family, drop off the bag tags and make some money during the day and take care of their kids and their family. And so that's really what I want to promote. You know, not women aren't going to go and invent my engraving machine. I wouldn't promote it for anyone, women or man. It's not really that fun, but being able to, you know, live and strive in your community and grow your friendships, hang out with your kids during the day, you know, and show up at their schools for their fundraisers. I do all the soccer medals, and then I show up locally and we do a fundraiser where I engrave on site. So there's so many things, from those little things locally to, you know, I've sold a system in Orlando Magic Stadium. You know, I have a couple systems in New Zealand, Australia, Spain. So I can teach people as well how to do things internationally and bigger. So I think, you know, some women are going to thrive in this in a smaller community thing. And that's where we have our franchise, where then they'll be able to, you know, some of them like to sell and be hustlers and stuff. So that's where I'll be able to embrace both type of female future entrepreneurs in that avenue.
Great. All right, everyone. Thanks, Heather, so much. We're out of time, and we'll see you at our next event.
Thank you so much.
Many of our entrepreneurs presenting today have come through Coventure's programming. To teach us more about the programming, we have our Executive Director, Mike Lowe, to tell us more. Mike?
Congratulations to all the entrepreneurs today. We're proud that some of these entrepreneurs have gone through Coventure's programming. And I want to tell you a little bit about the program we offer at Coventure. We're quite proud that we have a Launch Academy, which is a 4-week deep dive into a company's business model. as well as helping companies develop a go-to-market strategy that gets to revenue quickly. We've also got our flagship program, a 12-week deep dive into a company's strategy and helping them align that strategy with the market opportunity. We really work hard to introduce those entrepreneurs, those businesses to key resources and partnerships and kind of help them move the needle, as well as help them get access to capital. In addition to those core programs, we are proud to partner with the Roaring Fork leadership, with Colorado Mountain College, with Denver University's Business School, and the Small Business Development Council. Through our partnership with these various entities, we provide a wide array of programs for entrepreneurs at every stage of their journey. So come take a class at Coventure. Go visit us at coventure.io to learn more about our programs and sign up. We'd love to see you in the classroom and to become a part of this great community we've built here. Hope to see you.
I'm so grateful that 3 years ago I was brave enough to sign up for the Launch Academy with Coventure and Mike Lowe, because that really did pull me not only to working in the Coventure space, which I did for over 1.5 years. Then I also did the accelerator program, and now I'm pitching right now, and I couldn't be happier with my partnership with Coventure.
I've been a member of Coventure since the beginning, before COVID, and it's been a great community to be a part of. Where we're at today is, I couldn't have done it, frankly, without being a member of Coventure and the accelerator program.
Our next presenter today is Mr. Eric Amyo of Thrive, a next-generation modular home design company. Eric is pitching for strategic partnerships and capital today and wants to become a key player in the affordable housing space. With only 3 competitors on the global market, they have customers lining up for their innovative designs. Eric has 2 previous successful exits, so this company is in very good hands. Eric, over to you in the pitch room. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Hey, I'm Eric Amyo, co-CEO and co-founder of Thrive Design. Thrive creates modular, prefab, off-grid and autonomous dwellings and infill solutions for self-reliant humans. So what problems are we addressing at Thrive? Well, 3 key ones in particular. The first one is we're facing a global housing crisis that is neither sustainable nor accessible solutions. We're facing rapid shift towards health-conscious living and lifestyles, particularly during this pandemic. And we're looking at societal sustainability solutions needed to be human and earth regenerative, not just sustainable. So what solutions are we providing at Thrive to address those key problems? Well, there are 3 tiers of support and technologies on the way. They're all scalable, autonomous, and regenerative technologies and services for new and existing spaces and communities. Loop and Longevity are the first 2 that we're launching. Loop this year, and Longevity following Q2 to Q3 next year, 2022. Loop is a live and work module starting at 170 square feet, up to 220 square feet per module. What's interesting and differentiating with this module is that it's connectable like a Lego block, creating a very customizable and endlessly configurable live or workspace for families and employers. The modules include renewable energies such as wind and solar, and sustainable solutions like water recapture, and they also grow their own food to feed their inhabitants. Continuance is an infill and retail solution. Technically, we'll be taking the solutions that we create for Loop and Longevity and break them apart and sell them to the retail market globally. This way people can enjoy products like our grow walls, our recyclable gray water solutions, and our wind and energy solutions in their homes or in their office spaces. So what's our value proposition? Our value proposition is that this will be much more affordable and accessible than conventional options on the market today. We'll have a lower cost of entry starting at just $35,000 to $40,000 per module, and we'll have a lower cost of installation and lower operating costs as well. So what does our business model look like? We'll be offering 3 tiers of support to our clients. First one is the design and sales of prefabricated modular and single unit dwellings, essentially Loop and Longevity. We're particularly excited about our subscription sales model for short-term living, digital nomads, and seasonal inhabitants. We'll be offering retail sales of proprietary and licensed technology and services, essentially breaking out the technologies in our intellectual portfolio that exist in Loop and Longevity and bringing them to the greater market globally. We'll also be gamifying and monetizing those output resources, or in simple terms, we'll be sharing the excess outputs, such as food production, energy production, and water collection with people and communities around loop and longevity modules. And then finally, we'll be developing and creating sales of experiential centers, essentially retreats, if you will. They'll be immersive and educational, spiritual, ecological, and technological tourism built-in opportunities. Basically, communities for people who either don't have access to the resources to consume loop products, or just want a short-term experience with community built around it. What is our go-to-market strategy? Well, we're already in it right now. We're currently getting ready to build our first loop modules here in the Roaring Fork Valley, which is very exciting. We're looking at building 3 to 6 modules in the next 90 days. Everything's in place to do so. While we do that, we're going to kickstart our retail revenues by the end of the year to support the clients, the first clients and early adopters of Loop. Through the end of this quarter in 2021, Q4, and into early Q1 2022, we'll be launching Continuance. Again, Continuance is our infill and retail opportunity to generate revenues. This will also support Loop residents and customers. Every Loop module that goes out the door will have a requirement for things such as seed plugs and nutrients for the grow walls and other consumables as well, and Continuance will address that. And later on in Q3 2022, as we're predicting, we'll create those experiential opportunities in Thrive Retreats. Our leadership team is comprised of various experts in their industries such as architecture, engineering, product design, and advanced technologies. Our financial projections are looking pretty sweet. Even though we're just entering the market, our competitive landscape is really showing us what the market is demanding and driving right now. Between our top 3 competitors, as listed here in the slide, they've already sold over 80,000 units just in the last 12 months. If we can pull off just 1,000 units, of which we're already a tenth of the way there pre-launch, we can generate over $35 million of revenue in our first year. So where are we at right now and where are we headed? Well, we've already done all the hard work. Our construction drawings, engineering, product design is all well underway, if not completed. We're now currently raising a seed round of $500,000, or $500,000, in exchange for 15% equity, dividends, a board seat to the right strategic partner, and a right of first refusal on the next rounds. With these funds, we intend to build 2 to 3 showcase modules here in the Roaring Fork Valley, all of which are spoken for currently for existing clients. Deliver 2 to 3 of those modules before the end of this year. Start our marketing push globally. We're still in stealth mode and generating so much traffic that we've had to shut down our web form. Finalize initial hardware and software research and development, which is well underway, and soft launch Continuance retail support for our Loop customers. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I look forward to joining you in providing regenerative and affordable housing solutions for all.
All right, Eric, thank you for that wonderful pitch. Jonathan, we're going to start with you to tee off our 2-minute Q&A starting now.
Thank you, Eric. So I've seen a couple of these solutions pop up recently, and for good reason. There's 3D printing and a need for a lot of these modular homes out there, especially in markets like Colorado and the mountain region. What is the differentiation that you have on what you're looking at? I know the pitch mentioned a couple different applications, and how do you plan to reach, with that differentiation, to reach customers at scale that need this kind of product?
Yeah, I would say that our closest competitors typically offer a one-size-fits-all solution, sort of a tiny home scale solution. We're trying to enter the market at an even more reasonable cost of entry so that people who maybe aren't ready for a six-digit purchase can start in around the $35,000 to $40,000 range. So we certainly have a lower cost of entry than the majority of our competitors. Within that lower cost of entry, we're still stacking layers of frontier technology like aeroelastic flutter, solar panels, water recapture, that sort of thing, and making it truly modular. So not only do we start with a smaller footprint and a lower cost, but you can bolt these units together, these modules together, like Lego, if you will, and create an endless configuration of living possibilities. That means as your family grows, your living space can grow, as your business needs grow, your workspace can grow. And beyond that, we've also taken a lot of time to dive deep into the psychology of human nature and the intersection of technology and nature. And all of our designs are built on the principles of biophilia and human design.
Excellent. Thank you, Eric. Lego approach to building homes. All right. Tyler, you're up next. Let's have your question, please.
Great. Thank you, Eric. Love it. Love the idea. Maybe could you speak to the regulatory environment and maybe some of the either the headwinds or tailwinds for both either the company or the consumers who are looking to get into this product?
Yeah, for sure. So we're working both with existing industry partners and our own intellectual patent portfolio in-house to make sure that everything is UL listed or follows any regulatory standards that are required, not only here in the United States of America, but to our neighbors in the north in Canada and overseas in Europe as well. We're not really a tiny house. We're not a conventional stick-built house. We're not an RV. We're something entirely new to the market without the need for foundation, but having one if needed, without the need for septic or grid tie, but having the ability to do so if we need. There really aren't a lot of no's that we can address in these conversations. So it's really exciting to both sides. Again, they don't really see the conversation or expect it to be as prepared and focused as it is in terms of providing answers to those questions or solutions to the problems, but that's just how it's going so far. Really good.
All right. Thank you, Eric. We are going to move on to our next event. Thank you.
Thank you.
As many of you know, the Roaring Fork Angels is part of a larger syndicate model of investors, and we want to teach you a little bit more about that today. So we have one of our principals here, Mr. Sean Bertini, to talk a little bit more about the Western Slope Angels.
Sean Bertini from 4 Points Funding, and really glad to be here in Carbondale today. Thank you very much. Over the past couple of years, we've reorganized ourselves in more of a chapter model and trying to enable and support individual communities throughout the Western Slope to sort of form their own organizations and support their entrepreneurs. Roaring Fork Angels has been one of our sort of long-standing successful chapters, and is a really good example of the communities that are the best organized and the most active, ultimately seeing the best results. And so we've had 4 of our 10 investments to date have come from this region, and really kind of a testament to what can happen when a community pulls itself together, creates its own events, and helps kind of get their investors involved in the conversation.
My name is Rick Carlson, and I'm a member of the Roaring Fork Angels. I got to tell you, I'm real excited about being a member of this angel organization. I just was lucky enough to invest in Mountain Flow Eco Wax. What's interesting, this is the same kind of quality deal that you'd find in any top, angel organization anywhere in the United States. It's been vetted by some of the best people in the industry, and here it is available in downtown Carbondale.
Thank you very much. Cannot do this without great local leadership, angels, and entrepreneurs, and would encourage everybody watching this today to go to West Slope Angels, go to Coventure, sign up, be a part of the solution and helping create some economic diversity and some fantastic new jobs and supporting great entrepreneurs in our region. So thank you so much, and yeah, good luck to everybody.
All right, everyone, it's time. Our final presenter for the day, Mr. Michael Legrani with Iron IQ, a new company located out of Grand Junction, Colorado. Today, Michael is pitching for capital and industry connections. They've raised a successful $1.5 million in their Series A and are looking to close their remaining $1 million today. Iron IQ has reinvented the way that SCADA software is built. They've taken something that has been historically very complicated and now made it accessible to every company. Mike is a 5th-generation Coloradan who is committed to building his enterprise here on the Western Slope. Mike, we're excited to have you. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Well, thanks everyone for having me today. My name is Michael Legrani. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Iron IQ. I have a long history in oil and gas, wastewater, aggregates, automation engineering, and SCADA. Started multiple businesses, kind of a serial entrepreneur in that regard. one of the most interesting thing about me is I'm 5th generation Western Coloradan. And you know, a lot of people don't think that innovative software can be built out of Grand Junction. Certainly not something with a global reach. Well, Iron IQ is about to change that, and I'm going to tell you why. So, first off, what is SCADA? SCADA is used in a lot of mission control industries such as oil and gas, power quality, power distribution, water treatment, mining. Starting to get a pretty big foothold in green energy and precision agriculture. But it's a little different. Some people might confuse it with IoT. IoT is more about monitoring and aggregating data. SCADA does that, but it actually adds a secure control layer on top. So ultimately what we do is we design software to control equipment or industrial processes anywhere in the world from your laptop or tablet. So what's wrong with current SCADA systems? Well, to be frank, they're obsolete. They've failed to evolve in the last 20 years. Somebody coming from the inside like myself will tell you there's been largely no change. They're expensive to run, they're complex, they cannot plug into modern third-party softwares which leverage machine learning and other things that enterprises need. And more importantly, they're not secure. We learned that last year with the Colonial Pipeline, or actually earlier this year. So what's Iron IQ done to address that problem? Well, we've created our upstream oil and gas solution called Patch IQ. Patch IQ is modern, it's built on modern web-based services, it's secure, it's easy to use, and it's extremely powerful. And we can integrate easily with any third-party application that's out there in the marketplace. So what does this market look like? Well, right now the global SCADA market is worth $9.2 billion. It's projected to reach $13.2 billion by 2027. The oil and gas SCADA market is worth just under $4 billion alone, and it's projected to reach $5.99 billion by 2027. And there's also 1 million active wells in the United States alone. So why will we be number one? Well, to be frank, we have the best team in the business, we have the deepest domain expertise, we have the most innovative ideas, and we've redesigned the way SCADA technology is built. So we have an extremely innovative and powerful product. We've also taken something that's very, very complex and made it very, very easy. Sales. Well, right now, we're at just under $30,000 in recurring revenue. We began our sales efforts this spring. In 24 months, we anticipate being at $1.2 million in monthly recurring revenue. What's our ask? Right now, we have a Series A round that we're looking to fill up. We have a 2.5 million cap on that round, and we've currently filled over half of it. So what we'd like is some innovative investors to come on board and help us build something really special out of Western Colorado. Thank you for your time.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for that pitch. It was fabulous. I know you're eager to get to your next event. I know you're on your way to the Front Range as we speak, fresh out of the pitch room. So we'll keep it to a tight 2-minute Q&A. First question is going to be from Jonathan. Jonathan?
All right, yeah, love the hustle, Michael. So basically, just as a SaaS product, especially a SaaS product that deals with pretty sensitive information and systems. My questions here would just be around the unit economics, like how the sales cycle on something like this must be pretty long, right? But once you are able to close somebody on it, do you have any idea on what the typical subscription length would be after that?
Most of our customers right now sign up for a 36-month contract. The stickiness of this, well, just to give you an idea, most of these customers we're approaching have been on their legacy system for 15 to 20 years and have not changed. So we anticipate a high degree of stickiness. As far as our pricing goes, we make it very easy, right? We're not user-based. We're not even storage-based or any other thing like that. It's just the amount of wells and the amount of meters that they have as far as our upstream product goes.
All right, excellent, thank you. I believe our next question is going to come from Mr. Tyler. Tyler, are you ready?
Yeah, I guess as a follow-on to that, maybe you can just speak to how do you kind of create higher switching costs and, and more stickiness in the business? Is there an element of hardware that you guys are installing, or, what stops them from just going to the next SaaS provider who comes in and at a lower price, I guess?
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, we provide such an innovative solution for their business. And what we have is a proprietary data model that consolidates all their assets. And that's something that's very proprietary to us. And it helps normalize all their data. And then we consistently provide upgrade features for them, right? Unlike a lot of our other competitors in this space. And we're also the only one that currently is geared towards an enterprise offering. Most of our competitors, cloud native SCADA, they're more interested in independence, and we go after the 4,000, 5,000 low customers.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you so much, Michael. We don't want to take up any more of your time because you've got places to be, and we've got to get to our next event. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And on behalf of Coventure, I want to thank all of our community sponsors who helped us 4 years ago get off the ground and continue to support us with resources, expertise, and capital. A special thanks goes out to Garfield County, the town of Carbondale, the Office of Economic Development, and all of the Rotary Clubs of Aspen Glen and Carbondale. Also, a huge shout out to Startup Colorado. They have been an important part of growing the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the Western Slope. And a final shout out to all of the chambers in the Roaring Fork Valley, without whose support we would not have been able to make this event happen. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, judges, you've heard from all of our entrepreneurs today. We usually like to close out each event with some parting wisdom from you guys. You're hand-selected for this purpose, so we would love to hear your thoughts, anything you could give to our entrepreneurs today. Tyler, let's start with you.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for all of the people that surround me. Somebody once gave me a great piece of advice that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think it's really important that you surround yourself with great mentors, that you build a company culture and surround yourself with people who have a like vision with you and have the same company values. And I think it's also important that you select your partners and even, your vendors and your suppliers are all going to play a critical role in the success of the company. So, take stock in the people that surround you, and, always look to be able to expand that mastermind network at the same time and look to put yourself in contact with new people that can help elevate you in the company.
Thank you. Okay. Jonathan, how about you?
Sure. Yeah. My biggest piece of advice for entrepreneurs always is just to focus. And I know that sounds a little bit broad, but basically I see way too many founders, especially of early stage companies, they try to aspire to be these large businesses that have products that solve a lot of problems for a lot of different customers, right? But when you're first starting out, you really have to solve one problem for one customer with one product and even just one killer feature, right? It's the entrepreneurs that are able to do that and create a perfect product for a smaller set of customers, a set of customers that's too small for big businesses to even care about. If you're able to do that, you can fly under the radar from the big businesses, really start to build a community around your business and then create playbooks to then eventually expand. So yeah, it's a long way of just saying, try to solve one problem for one customer with one product in the beginning. And if you can do that, which is really hard, then you can start to expand from there.
Yeah, excellent. Very practical advice. Connie, you are our final pearl of wisdom. What have you got?
Well, Jonathan used the F word and I use it all the time too, but mine is flexible. I believe that entrepreneurs need to be extremely flexible, and things are going to be thrown at you from all angles, all the time, always. And if you can be flexible and just keep believing, you will be successful.
All right, perfect. We have a lot of entrepreneurs sobbing on their kitchen floors right now, so I'm sure a lot of folks are going to take those words of wisdom to heart. Okay, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and congratulations to our entrepreneurs. It is not easy to pitch to a virtual audience, and they did a tremendous job. The goal of these pitch events is very simple. We want to build great companies in small towns. We want to see these entrepreneurs get to the next step, and we know you do too. So what can you do now? So you can go to coventure.io to get more information on contributing to these companies. You could perhaps nominate a company to pitch in our next event. You can also get information about starting your own co-working space where you live or becoming one of our angel investors. Before we go, we have a lot of thank yous to our community sponsors, our strategic partners, our expert judges, and of course our entrepreneurs, venture capital partners, and a final thank you to our director, Greechan with Common Language Productions, for hosting and producing this fabulous event. Have a great day, everybody, and remember that great companies start with you. Thank you.